Hello everybody, and welcome to the premiere episode of my new series, The Counsel. The Counsel is a play on words, as in counsel. My goal for this series is to bring fellow YouTubers together and have genuine conversations about alternative entertainment, as in video games, comics, anime, movies, even wrestling. If we're into it, we're going to talk about it. Joining me in the first conversation of this series is the one and only SuperBros, part of the Best of Both World crew representing Kentucky. In this episode, we're going to talk about the life and times of the old school video game arcades, what they meant to us, the games we enjoyed, and why they're not around anymore. So now, enjoy this conversation, already in progress.
They're really trying to bring the fighters back.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it'll be the same as it used to, just because there doesn't like being able to, go to the mall and, be in line, putting your quarter on the cabinet, waiting your turn.
Yeah.
Play that fool who's been playing all day long, beating everybody's tail, that you come beat them. It doesn't like that. I mean, online gaming is good and everything, but it's so unpersonal, there's no sense of, I don't know.
Yeah.
I won't say something at stake, but, playing someone online, man, either they quiet, or they talk too much noise, or...
Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever.
I was playing Mortal Kombat with Dr. Trey the other day, and there was some kids on there all loud and just running off at the mouth. I'm like, ugh, shit. Sometimes I mute them, man, because I don't want to hear all that bullshit no more, man.
Yeah. But even at the arcade, when you had those fools talking that noise, it was always that because they were right there. It's like, all right, fool.
Yeah.
Back it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Back your claim up, yeah.
Saying you can definitely, fool talking on the background, say, hey, fool, put your quarter up and step. And if you didn't put that quarter up, then he got laughed out the arcade.
Yeah.
The community was able to police themselves, being at an arcade type thing. Online, man, there's no, if you give people the power to kick someone out of a room and do things like that, fools say they won't take advantage of it. But people like that as well. You create a room, and one guy come in, say something you don't like, and he just want to play. If you don't want him in there, you get rid of him.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I kind of do miss arcades a little bit, Jodeci. Because like I said, I used to go all the time, man. The whole console has kind of messed up the arcade scene. I think so.
Yeah, I agree too. Hey, 1 second, man. Hold on. That thought.
No problem.
Go ahead. Finish what you're saying about the home consoles destroying arcade.
Yeah, Jodeci. I mean, here in the Ville, where I live at, we used to, me and my boy Fat, we would get him and go to me and him would go downtown. And there was a place called the Galleria. And they had a big arcade, man. And every time we went, Jodeci, it was packed. I mean, it was packed, man, all the time. And we would just go play arcade games. And back then, it was the shit. They had everything, man. But back in, let me see. That was back in 95. The last arcade, Jodeci, I ain't seen an arcade in this city where I'm at since, oh, man. I think 97.
Mm-hmm.
It's been that long, man. I mean, our arcades are pretty much dead in this city. I mean, I know in some cities you still got them around, but I haven't been in an arcade, man, in so long. It's just pitiful. And anything I can play in the arcade, I can download on my computer because I got Main. I think that's a program where you can download any kind of game you can play. I got like 20, 30 games, man. All of them are arcade games. So.
Yeah. So I know what you mean. I don't know about where I currently live at, but my hometown, man, that arcade died a long time ago.
Yeah.
When we had, and then when I lived in Austin for a little bit, they had a mall that had an arcade, but it was basically full of old games. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like these bigger cities, they still have an arcade and they get the newer games.
Yeah.
The arcades like in Austin where I lived at, it was it was an arcade, but all the games were old.
Yeah. You talking about Pac-Man or Donkey Kong, shit like that?
Well, I'm just talking about like your old school fighters. I mean, games we would enjoy, your Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't want to play Mortal Kombat 1 if you can give me Mortal Kombat Trilogy or whatever, or one of the newer ones, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to play Street Fighter 2 when there's Super Street Fighter, Alpha 3 or something, I'm talking about like the first runs of the games.
Yeah.
Your first Mortal Kombat, your first Street Fighters, your first Fatal Furies. That's cool to play, when you go on an old school field, but the arcade's full of those old games, with no signs of new stuff coming. It's kind of, I can play Street Fighter anywhere now, in my handheld, like I said, with your computer. So yeah, arcade definitely, man. If you gotta get the new stuff, or at least the new games that you can't get on a console yet, it kind of defeats the purpose even going,
Yeah, exactly. I feel you.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's probably one thing, and then also, the consoles themselves, man, they put out quality. The quality is way better than the arcade itself, anyway.
Yeah,
so.
That too, Jodeci. I mean, some of these console games look way better than the arcade ones that came out a long time ago. Yeah, I do kind of feel you on that. But like I said, man, every weekend I would get up and go to arcade. I spend about 3 or 4 hours in there, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be spending $10, $15, $20 just playing games.
Shoot, man, I can lie, I was never that dedicated. I was more of the audience, man. I like to go watch people play.
I used to do it too, Jodeci. I would, especially Mortal Kombat. Was back in '95 when I think Mortal Kombat came out in '95. Was it '94 or '95, man?
The first one?
No, the third one.
Part 3? Man, I couldn't tell you exactly when, man. I just know it came out PS1 and 64. So
I think it did come out in '95 because I think I was still a senior in high school, and me and Fat Gamer we would cut school when we were seniors and go to the arcade. We'd be in there like 2-3 hours, man. Like I said, just playing games, having fun, man. That was back in the day. We didn't have that many. Well, I had a Sega back then, and he had Super Nintendo, but Mortal Kombat 3 wasn't out yet. So
right.
So you had to go to the arcade and play it. But as soon as it came to the home consoles, I picked that bitch up. And me and Fat used to play that shit all the time, man. I would go over his house and play games. He would come over to my house. I mean, he was never a big Mortal Kombat fan. He kind of liked platformers and stuff too. But like I said, I was a huge Mortal Kombat fan.
You ever play or buy that Mortal Kombat Mythology or whatever, Sub-Zero?
I got that on my PlayStation 1, Juan. I've had that for a while. I mean, it's an old copy. I need to give him another copy, but I do have the game.
Mm.
It wasn't too bad when it came out. It was just hard as hell, though.
Yeah. I just want to know how deep your Mortal Kombat love went, man. I think I played it. I think I rented it, man. Just never got into it. I mean, Sub-Zero really not one of the characters I like when it comes to Mortal Kombat. So
yeah,
the idea was all about him. Kind of killed it for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Going back to the arcade, man. I didn't play too much in the arcade, man, because man, I've never been good with the arcade stick.
Yo, for real.
To this day, I still don't see how people can play games like that.
Mm.
I just never got it down. So, I mean, if there was a way back in the day to bring your Super Nintendo controller and plug it into the arcade machine, it'd have been on. But
yeah,
I never got down with it, man.
So you really didn't like arcades that much, Jodeci?
Well, man, I like arcades, but I could never play them. You know, I mean, I always like going to watch the games being played. Just that I could never sit down and play it. I mean, besides your simple stuff like Pac-Man or your driving stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your fighters that had those kind of, you know, those tapping and motions like that.
Stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah, I could never get that down, man, with an arcade stick.
I tell you another game, Jodeci. Well, I like fighting games back then, but I also liked what was it? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, shit like that.
Yeah.
That and The Simpsons. That's a pretty good game. I don't know if you ever played that Moonwalker in the arcade.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I played. Like I said, I played those kind of games, man. You know, you didn't have that too many complicated motions and movements.
Yeah, that was Moonwalker was the shit. The Simpsons, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I got
Final Fight, Golden Axe, all that shit. Jodeci, you name it, I played it. NBA Jam.
Yeah.
What's that game? The kid with the roller skates. DJ Boy. I played that shit. Yeah, that was an arcade game. You never heard of that, Jodeci?
No, I never heard DJ Boy.
Oh yeah, DJ Boy. I think that's the name of it. I don't know. Yeah, I think it was something like that. Well, this little kid had a roller skates. He was whooping the shit out of everybody I saw on there.
Okay. So it's still kind of an action fighting game, kind of like, you know, the Turtles, whatever.
Yeah, sort of like NBA Jam or Arch Rivals.
Yeah,
Captain America.
Yeah.
The Spider-Man arcade game. Oh man, Jodeci, there's so much shit. Oh man, you taking me back, bro. Oh man.
Yeah, I'm like I say, I definitely, I got down with those. I definitely got down with. I played those. You know, at that time, the time we're talking about, those games were still there, man. But they're definitely getting weeded out for the arcade, for the fighters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At least in my mall. I mean, I'm all. You might have had that one, you know, big 4-player Turtles game, the 6-player X-Men game.
Oh, I remember that too.
4-player.
Yeah.
You know, you had those, of course, but the main attractions were the newest fighting games. You know, it was from Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat, the Mortal Kombat 2, the Killer Instinct. I mean, whatever. They were always, those were games that everybody was around playing and watching and stuff.
Yeah.
You know? Most other races I didn't play too much just because, you know, they were all time based. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you didn't get to a certain point, at a certain point of the game, or time went out, your quarter was gone.
Yeah.
I kind of hated that. You know, something like old school Pac-Man, even your Street Fighter games, when you played the game itself, you know, you went until you lost.
Yeah.
And those driving games, and even NFL, NBA Blitz, they pull that bull to where you only can play for a quarter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you want to do another half, you have to put in more money. It's like,
yeah.
You know, limiting the gameplay by, you know, charging, by limiting the time you can play the game.
And charging you more. Yeah, I also remember too, Joe, to see, before the arcades kind of died down or died out, they was charging 50 cents to play, man.
Yeah.
50 and 75 cents to play a damn game. I was like, son of a bitch. Because I forgot, it was one game where you had to, I think it was either 50 or 75 cents to start. I think it might have been a Double Dragon game. I forgot. It was so much shit back then. But, like I said, man, the consoles pretty much killed the arcades. Because they was making better graphics for the games, for the home consoles than the arcades, and everybody stopped going to the arcades. I mean, I did.
Yeah.
The last time I went to an arcade, Josie, it was, I live where it used to be a mall near me. It was called Baxter Manor Mall, where I live at. It was back in 97, 98. And I used to go to their arcade. And I went one day and they were just shut it down. I was like, so I asked the guy, I was like, what happened to the arcade? The guy was like, well, they closed down. It wasn't making no money. Because I do remember going in there one day and I was the only person up in there. Now, you know that's bad. If they ain't making no money off of that shit. like I said, the arcades, I think they died out about 98, 99, or 97, somewhere around there. 'Cause everybody was home playing their consoles, man.
Once again, I would like to thank Super Brothers for joining me on the console. And if you're interested in having a conversation with me, please send me a PM. Thanks for watching. See you next time.